And US Vice President JD Vance has said that the United States is going to try to find some negotiated settlement between Russia and Ukraine in which they can live in relative peace, now even if the deal makes them unhappy. In an interview to Fox News, Vance said that USA is done funding the Ukraine war business and wants to stop killing. The US Vice President added that Americans were sick of sending their taxpayers' money to Ukraine and that he was fine if European countries stepped up to buy the weapons from American producers.
America, we're done with the funding of the Ukraine war business. We want to bring about a peaceful settlement to this thing. We want to stop the killing. But Americans, I think, are sick of continuing to send their money, their tax dollars to this particular conflict. But if the Europeans want to step up and actually buy the weapons from American producers, we're okay with that, but we're not going to fund it ourselves anymore.
Vance said that the key agenda of Trump-Putin Alaska talks is to find some negotiated settlement that the Ukrainians and the Russians can live with in relative peace, even if the outcome is not favorable for both sides and upsets both Kiev and Moscow.
Now, what do I think is ultimately going to come out of this? Look, it's actually very simple. If you take where the current line of contact between Russia and Ukraine is, we're going to try to find some negotiated settlement that the Ukrainians and the Russians can live with, where they can live in relative peace, where the killing stops. It's not going to make anybody super happy. Both the Russians and the Ukrainians probably at the end of the day are going to be unhappy with it, but I don't think.
The development comes as Zelensky held calls with 13 counterparts over 3 days, including Kiev's main backers, Germany, Britain and France. Meanwhile, European leaders are continuing to push for Ukraine to be a part of negotiations between the United States and Russia in Alaska. The leaders have rejected the idea of US-Russia meeting in the absence of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and fear that one such deal would require Kiev to cede swathes of territory to Moscow. Similarly, European Union Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas said that any agreement between the United States and Russia must include Ukraine and the EU. Kallas revealed that she would convene an online meeting of EU foreign ministers on Monday to discuss the next steps. Kallas further said that while efforts were being put to achieve a lasting peace, international law was clear about returning all temporarily occupied territories to Ukraine. She went on to say that a deal must not provide a springboard for future and further Russian aggression against Ukraine, the transatlantic alliance and Europe. Now, on the other hand, the politics in US seems deeply divided over how to tackle Russia's aggression. Senator Jeanine Shaheen, the leading Democrat on foreign policy, unleashing a scathing statement over the weekend after a self-imposed deadline by Trump for new sanctions on Russia passed without any action. The senator accused Trump of allowing Russian President Vladimir Putin to walk across one of his red lines with zero consequences. In a separate interview with NBC, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham took a different approach. Graham expressed full confidence in Trump's upcoming meeting with Putin, stating that Putin would go to meet Trump from a position of strength and secure an honorable end to the war. Now, after coming to power in 2000, the Russian President Vladimir Putin has made a total of 7 American visits. In September 2000, Putin met President Bill Clinton at the UN Millennium Summit in New York City.